All right, let's move on to Baylor, Texas, more Big 12 action. See what we are dealing with here. Baylor opening up as 11-point favorites, and this is dropped all the way to 8.5. So we've already seen a 3-point move towards Texas. Let's see the last few games here. Baylor coming off a...
Wait. You mean Texas is the favorite?
Oh, sorry. Did I say Baylor?
Yeah.
My fault. Yes.
Okay.
Sorry. Yes. Texas is now 11-point favorites. And
I got 9s.
They opened shit. Sorry. Jesus. All right, let's bring this back. Yes. Texas opened at 11, and it's all the way down to 8.5. There are 9s on the board, but 80% of the books have moved it down to Texas 8.5-point favorites. This total has dropped from 64 to 61. Baylor coming off a 27-21 double overtime loss at West Virginia, but that was 2 weeks ago due to COVID issues. And I can only imagine that the reason why this line is dropping is that the reports are coming that they're going to have a lot of their players available and that it's not as big of an issue. Texas coming off a quadruple overtime loss, 53-45 to at Oklahoma. And that is where we stand right now. Another game that has COVID and lack of home crowd issues to deal with. Let's go to Connor Mack right now. CMac, Baylor, Texas.
Yeah, with the lack of home crowd, this was one that shot out me. Texas hasn't been able to stop anyone. And there's a 61.5. I think this game goes over. And I lean Baylor. Obviously, it's dropping. I haven't been impressed with Texas all year. They just – Ellinger, everyone gave them all the hype. They've just looked average to me. I think it's too many points. They are at home. But I'm leaning the 9, and I like the over in this one. I'll stay on it because of the COVID. But, yeah, no home crowd. It just – they can't stop anybody, Texas, or minimal home crowd. Sorry to say. They probably have. I like Baylor enough to get up and down with them. You know, this game should easily go in the 30s, I believe. Texas will get theirs. So that's why I'm more on the total, the over, than the side. I still like Baylor. I wish it was 10. It's dropped. People are obviously betting Baylor here early. So, yeah, that's my breakdown there.
This total has dropped 3 points from the opener at Bet365
It's dropped
64 to 61. Which is interesting. Let's hear what John Ryan has to say. Big 12 battle, Baylor, Texas.
Well, I agree with you, Connor. It was disappointing actually for Texas. All the research I had done indicated that they were going to have one of the best defensive units in the nation, at least in the Big 12.
Yeah.
They had 9 starters returning on defense, and they've done nothing short but underperform, and that's not even the right word. I can't say the word that I should be saying. Anyway, Texas has allowed 56 at Texas Tech, 33 in a loss at TCU, and, of course, the Red River rivalry with an all-time record combined score of 98 points in that quadruple overtime where they somehow couldn't kick a field goal. So that, even though it was 2 weeks ago, that sting, knowing that rivalry the way I know it, pretty well. It's hard for them not to think their season's done. They had high aspirations, high expectations, and now you just plummet right down the abyss. Baylor hasn't played in 3 weeks, and those guys want to play. I mean, not that Texas doesn't, but you understand what I'm saying. They're anxious to get out on the field and play the game. So it's a game that I'm going to pass on. But if I had to pick a side, it would be Baylor.
Baylor to cover. What do you think of this total that's gone from 64 to 61?
That's a tough call. I understand what you're saying with the players being made more available. I really would have to wait till Friday to get all the new news in, who's playing, who's not. It's almost like watching the NFL now. It's so hard to determine who is playing.
Agree. It's so hard early in the week. I used to love jumping on these early lines. It's so difficult right now to do this. You got to wait till the last minute on on these games. And the lines have been moving radically, especially on Saturday, right before kickoff. Points, 3, 4 points, and the total. So, because everyone's getting in right then. This COVID has really made my handicapping. I know we're doing a preview show, Jimmy, but it's really had to make me wait on games really a lot this year with it. So, yeah, definitely keep all that. Look it up as the week goes on.
All right, so we have a lot of cappers leaning towards Baylor here, and I think something that we've seen from in both pro football and college football is that these teams that have been off for a week and a half or 2 weeks or however long because of COVID are playing good football, itching to get back out there and succeeding right off the bat. So I think this lean that you guys have towards Baylor makes a lot of sense.